It was the year the rains didn't come. Our village, usually green and full of life, turned brown and dry. Crops withered and the river shrank. We were all worried, but no one more than Chief Tunde, our leader, who was known for his wealth and ambition. While everyone struggled, rumors spread that Chief Tunde had stored food in secret. People whispered that he had barns full of grain hidden away for himself. I didn't want to believe it, but my father, the village storyteller, said the signs were there. Days passed and hunger grew. Villagers started gathering at the chief's house, asking for help, but Chief Tunde stood on his gate, saying he had nothing to give. His face was calm, but his eyes betrayed his fear. One night, a group of young men decided to investigate. They snuck into the chief's compound and found a hidden barn. Inside, it was just as the rumors said, sacks of grain piled high. The sight made their heart pound with mix of anger and relief. The next morning, the villagers gathered at the chief's house, more determined than ever. They demanded he shared the food. Chief Tunde hesitated, then finally agreed to give out a small portion, just enough to keep people quiet. Elder Nana, the oldest and wisest in the village, warned the chief. He spoke of past leaders who let their greed reign them. But Chief Tunde only smiled, confident in his wealth and power. He thought he was untouchable. The little food Chief Tunde gave out wasn't enough. The village continued to suffer. Meanwhile, the chief kept taking more from his secret stash, hoarding it for himself and his family. He refused to share any more, saying it was for emergencies. As the situation worsened, Chief Tunde came up with a plan. He sent messengers to neighboring villages, offering to sell them food at a higher price. He thought he could profit from the famine, not caring about the suffering around him. One day, a stranger arrived in the village. He was a traveler, dressed in a simple cloth, but with a kind smile. He offered to help, saying he had brought food from his journey. He gave it away freely, asking for nothing in return. The chief was suspicious of the stranger. He thought it was a trick to undermine his authority. He sent his guards to watch the man, trying to find out his secrets. But the stranger seemed genuine, helping everyone he could. The stranger shared stories of his travels, of villages that thrive on generosity and cooperation. He spoke of leaders who cared for their people, not just their own wealth. His words made the villagers think about their own situation. As more villagers turned to the stranger for help, Chief Tunde grew desperate. He tried to buy the stranger's loyalty, offering him money and land. But the stranger refused, saying he wasn't interested in wealth. The village reached a breaking point. Tired of the chief's greed, they decided to take matters into their own hands, led by the young men who found the band. They marched to the chief Tunde's house, demanding he share the rest of the food. The chief stood at his gate, stood his ground, refused to give in. He called the villagers ungrateful and accused them of trying to steal from him. But his words fell on deaf ears. The villagers were tired of his lies and greed. It was then that someone discovered Chief Tunde planned to sell the food to neighboring villages. The villagers were outraged. They couldn't believe their chief would betray them like this, profiting from their suffering. The situation quickly escalated. In the chaos, someone knocked over a lantern in the barn. The dried wood caught fire, and within minutes, the entire building was engulfed in flames. The food chief had hoarded was destroyed and burned into ashes in an instant. With the food gone, the chief lost his power. The villagers turned on him, demanding he leave the village. They didn't want a leader who only cared about himself. Chief Tunde tried to plead, but it was too late for him. As the villagers dealt with the aftermath, the stranger revealed his true identity. He was a wandering sage, known for helping those in need. He had seen the village plight and decided to teach a lesson about the dangers of greed and the value of generosity. With Chief Tunde gone, the villagers worked together to rebuild. They shared what little they had and helped each other through the tough times. The stranger stayed for a while, offering guidance and wisdom. The village eventually recovered stronger and more united than before. They never forgot the lesson they learned from the stranger and the downfall of their great chief. From then on, they choose leaders who value generosity and kindness. The story of Chief Tunde became a cautionary tale passed down through generations, a reminder that unchecked ambition can lead to ruin, while generosity can build a better future for all. Feel free to share with us your most popular and interesting African folk tale. And please subscribe to this channel for more interesting and captivating stories like this.